We have the playoffs coming up soon, and today we look to end the regular season and find out where the Giants will be looking to the playoffs. We have won the last 2 Super Bowls and are trying to make it 3 in a row. Although this team has had a more challenging road to make it to the playoffs. We've had our ups and downs, but now it's been a very strong stretch of play. We've now won 5 games in a row, and most of these games have not been very close. I'm interested if we take on any higher rated quarterbacks today, and we will with the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, but this is not a great Cardinals team. And teams that don't have great quarterbacks have just struggled to do anything against us. It's led us to win some games pretty convincingly. Now, Arizona, on paper here, they're an 86 overall, but hey, 2-11 is 2-11. Kyler's a 99, though. Budda Baker's a 96, DeAndre Hopkins. One thing Madden needs to do more is when teams are bad, like, you got to start trading players and starting over, getting a younger core. Like, this is just the same team from year 1, but bad. What I think is going to happen today, though, is we'll get all the way to Week 18 and finish the season and see what our seed is, and I would imagine it's going to be the 5. I can't see us catching Dallas, mostly because I don't see them slumping enough, so we could be looking at a wild card game for the first time in a few years. It's business as usual against Arizona, winning by 10. Although they did produce on offense 8 more first downs than us, almost 100 more total yards, but they had a couple turnovers. And our defense is very good at generating those. Kind of a quiet day here for Petrovsky, but still efficient. Good day running for Saquon Barkley. And Kadarius Toney steps it up with a 93-yard performance, as Michael Thomas and Rashawn Graham take more of a step back today. On defense, a sack for Golson, half between Lawrence and Holt, with an interception for Xavier McKinney. All right, can we talk about Otis Springs here for a minute? This is an impressive stat line for an off-the-ball linebacker. Now, 7 tackles, none for a loss, no sacks, no picks. What's so great? Well, a deflection. He had a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a block. So here is the current playoff picture, and I don't want to face Green Bay in the wild card again. We've already seen that like 2 times, I think, in this series, but it could end up playing out again. We have Kansas City and Dallas as the projected ones right now. Now, we take on Washington this week. They're 8-6. Last place in the NFC East. When has an 8-6 team ever been last place in anything? I saw some feedback that many of you have missed seeing more upgrades in the episode, so let's get back to that today. Isaiah Cunningham. His rookie season has been very up and down, but a lot of corners start their careers, struggling to adapt and having some humbling learning experiences. Ratings are in a good spot, but he's not going to make it to star dev after his rookie season. Maybe next year he'll be a little bit better after a season full of upgrades, but he's gotten plenty of playing time. Tavares Towns now becomes an 85 overall. This is speed and acceleration. I think he's got a decent chance to take over for Saquon Barkley in a year or 2. I just wonder if I'm not playing him enough to keep that superstar dev, but he has been using that superstar dev to get to this point, and it wouldn't be the worst thing if he lost it. I still think he'd be pretty effective. Well, the contract demands for Rashawn Graham probably just went up as we give him the physical upgrade, +3 catching, some release, and spec catch. He's somebody I could see earning superstar development, and they have him now as a top 32 receiver. After the episode we had where he had the 10 catches, that was the last one, that really opened my eyes to him possibly taking over that Michael Thomas role and playing more in the slot. Although, would his abilities be wasted in the slot? I know he doesn't have great deep route running, but everything else would allow him to make plays down the field more than if he were playing a lot of his snaps in the slot. So I gave that big deal to Christian Tolbert in the last few episodes. I forget when exactly, but it does seem like this was the right time. He's been really good when we've watched, and I know in the past at right tackle, I've seen him give up so many sacks in the episodes. I think he's turned the corner. And we'll upgrade Jason Quinton as well, and he has been a star pretty much from the very beginning. Superstar X Factor, 25 years old, and next year we'll have a chance at a big payday. Wow, Washington pulls off the upset, and they score a critical win against us, giving them a chance to get out of last place. Drew Lock had a good game against us. 2 touchdowns, no picks, only sacked 1 time. They ran the football well enough. They'll take this. And Rashawn Graham had 83 yards, 1170. Terry McLaurin, 53. Everybody really spread the ball around in this game. So that does tighten the standings a bit and might make these last 2 weeks a little more important, as we're now only 1 game up on Washington. Essentially 2 up on Philly because of the tiebreaker. I'm ready to make this move, and wow, it was $12 million a year not long ago, but I always spend upgrades before I sign players, and I probably would have bumped his offer up to like $50 million anyway, but now we're looking at 13.6, and that's if he just takes this first offer, which I think is pretty fair. He's not a top 10 receiver, but this is still a nice payday. And Rashawn Graham will extend with the New York Giants. There are the cap numbers after this year. 12.6 will be next season, and that is above what we're getting, or the cap number is for Kadarius Toney. See, this is where franchise starts to get really interesting too. Like, Sergio Angulo is starting for us right now, and we know he's just an okay replacement level tackle, but he's looking at $13.3 million over 2 years because he can start. And I think that's what helps make franchise more interesting with tough decisions like, what do you do with a tackle like him? Oh wow, I forgot it was going to be Josh Meadows' season as well. This is tough because we have seen Juwan Johnson kind of regress this year, and I like Meadows as a long-term solution there, but we'd have to really commit to him after this year. I still haven't made a decision on Otis Springs, but I feel like he's been pretty important to this defense, and this upgrade is also going to help him out, as he was already looking at between $7 and $8 million. He's the 19th ranked inside linebacker, though. We have 2 guys who are top 20 at a relatively thin position. This is a really big number, okay? Prepare yourselves. We just scored 63 points. That's the most I've ever seen here in a sim. What's the NFL record? Isn't it like 72? It's not often I have to look this up. Most points in a game. I'm pretty sure it's Washington in like the 70s. It was Washington in the 60s. 72 points. And according to this here, I'm going to show this on screen. They had 3 return touchdowns in 1 game. I get that the game has changed a ton, and like there used to be a lot of interceptions thrown, like no one is catching the interception leaders. But for this to be such an offensively focused league now, and to have some of the great games we've had, like there's almost nothing here in the top 15 from the last 30 years. So we just tied the 8th most points in an NFL game. Brian Petrovsky threw 4 touchdowns. His stat line, you know, is pretty typical for him. But 4 interceptions. What happened, Owen Leak? Saquon Barkley, 4 touchdowns and a $155 on the ground. Also had Ruben Knight run 1 in. Rashawn Graham celebrating his new extension the right way with 2 touchdowns. So that was 4 for Barkley, 4 for Petrovsky, 8 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. Springs, Quinton, Holmes, Ojulari. Any a touchdown? No. That brings us to 11-5 on the season. The Eagles and the Washington football team are behind us. I guess Washington could make things interesting. What's their division record? Although we have already clinched a spot, it's just a matter of seeding now. In the division, though, we're 3-3. Washington's 2-4. I think we're pretty much locked into the 5 here. So, do I sit some players? Wait a minute. The whole division has already clinched? What's the rest of the NFC doing? How are you going to let 4 teams from one division make it in? This has literally never happened before in the NFL. Because we just expanded the wild card to include 3 teams. This is unbelievable. Every team has 10 victories. I don't even know how that's possible because, like, everybody plays everybody here, and there's a winner and loser to 99% of games. So it's really statistically unlikely for 4 teams in a division to win this many games, partially because of the head-to-heads where someone usually loses. That's wild. Just checking on if we're close to any potential rewards this season. Daniel Jones, Offensive Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley is here in 3rd place, but he's already in 99. Antonio Golson, 6th in Defensive Player of the Year right now. Matthew Montgomery, Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Lions. They have 3 players who could win it. That's pretty impressive. Michael Thomas is 4th in Best Receiver. I don't see Rashawn Graham. Antonio Golson, this could be huge for him. And Xavier McKinney as well. The numbers look pretty good now for Petrovsky after a 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions start. I mean, it blends right in with last year's numbers, even the same quarterback rating. I do think it's good for Towns to play. Like, he might lose some dev trait progress here, but playing might help. I mean, he could get 10 touchdowns, and that would possibly help him out. Graham and Thomas are doing well, but it might be a good chance to take a look at what Jared Weaver can do. Have him play more. 4 interceptions for McKinney. That leads the team. Antonio Golson leads us in sacks. How does Azeez Ojulari have only 6 sacks but 3 interceptions? That's really weird. Our game this week is in prime time. If Washington loses, we have clinched the 5 and have nothing to gain or lose. Actually, I think we've clinched the 5 regardless. All right, let's see what happens. Baker Mayfield. Where's he going to play this year? You think he just stays in Cleveland for one more season? This is going to be one of the wildest quarterback carousel seasons in real life, the 2022 NFL season, and it's already underway. Browns come in, though, 8-8, with us sitting at 11-5. We're on the road to finish out the year, and I do think we will play a fair amount of our backups today. We're kind of half and half right now. We have like the starting offensive line, but I've rotated a bunch of players in. Nick Chubb. We'll see if he gets going against this defense that won't see as much. Jason Quinton, Dexter Lawrence, Quandre Holt. I do have Antonio Golson playing because I'd love to see him win an award and get some sort of boost. I just want to make it through this game healthy. Wow, Philly beat Dallas down below. It won't change anything. And that is nearly picked off. Nice opening sequence. Luke Cook makes the start today, and he is under center with Tavares Towns deep in the backfield. Running straight ahead. It's a gain of 4. And Sergio Angulo is shaken up. Empty now. Luke Cook's going to open this up, and he fires complete across the middle. It's Jason Weaver. And Myles Garrett just took out Marquise Barton on that last play. I might have to move Christian Tolbert over there. I can't watch this for a game. Cook fires outside, and he's intercepted. He wanted Michael Thomas. How about Denzel Ward instead? Mayfield out of the shotgun on first down, and a lot of pressure to handle. He goes down. It's Travell Wharton. A lot of players getting some chances today that we don't normally see. And we'll get to have Daquan Byrd out there a lot more. He was, I think, our most impressive potential draft pick from the last class. Mayfield's going up top, and that is incomplete. But I'd love to see what Byrd can do. Might have to count on him more going forward, depending on who we can keep. Third down and gain of 3. Trying to get something here off the takeaway. Kicker's wearing number 25. If you're taking a number that good away from the running backs, you better make this kick. And he did. We are going to let Luke cook today, and let's see if he can bounce back from the interception. How about a play fake with time to throw? And a short pickup here to Josh Meadows. Yeah, what are we going to do with the tight end position? Do you think about moving on from Jawan Johnson after this year so you can get younger? On second down, drop by Towns. That's still a big weakness of his. Something we'd have to work on next season. 3rd and 7. Weaver, slot to the right. And Cook has time, steps up, and fires complete to Jason Weaver, but only a gain of 2. Washington lost their game, so the wild card standings are final here in the NFC. We are the 5, Philly is the 6, Washington the 7, and Nick Chubb is loose inside the Giant 30, and Darrell Gordon brings him down at the 15. Handoff Chubb again, running inside, gain of 8. It'll probably be a long day here, but this is a preview of, like, what if we didn't have our best defensive lineman anymore? Because we had to get creative with the cap. Probably not something we want to explore at any point. A sack for Luke Pope. Mayfield on 3rd and 13 is under pressure again. And Cleveland just can't block us. It's Daquan Byrd. As you can probably tell, our depth is a lot better at pass rushing than run stopping. It's mainly C.J. Anderson that's been like our backup run stopper, and I think he is maybe set to be a free agent as well. 6-0. Luke Cook. Let's see some excitement here. The fans are a little disappointed right now. Here's a catch for Michael Thomas. Gain of 12. We're experimenting here with Rashawn Graham in the slot, by the way. Want to see him in that role. Now Towns picks up 5. I just see all the X factors and superstars there at the bottom. I don't like it for our right side. First down, Rashawn Graham. That was a lot of separation. Cook from the 42, over the middle and intercepted. Again tried to get it to Tavares Towns. Good coverage and an awkward bobble there. Cleveland has it again. Oh, Jason Quinton's in the game. He missed the tackle on Chubb, who gets out to the 44. We are going to see Jabril Cox play a lot more than Quinton today, though. 3rd and 2, Mayfield underneath, and that is enough. These quarterbacks haven't exactly been exciting in the first quarter. We have like 27, no, more than 27 combined passing yards, but Mayfield isn't at very much, and they just keep giving it to Chubb every play. On second down, Mayfield under pressure, throws it off the mark for Chubb. He's now 2 for 5 for 7 yards. Denzel Ward's looking at that like, yeah, I would have picked that off. That was terrible. 3rd and 8. We're bringing 5, Peppers included, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Hey, I have a chance to finally shout out Frank Sermon. It's been a couple years in the making, but he was the second one there. He would have gotten the sack if Wharton wasn't there. Let's pick it up again with the Giants here in the second quarter, and Luke Cook, he's going to evade the rush and complete the pass. That's what I'm talking about. Tavares Towns inside, nice run up to the 44. When are we getting Jason Weaver involved more? Uh-oh, Cook. No, he couldn't get away. It's going to be a tough day out here for Luke Cook. Nothing's easy today. 2nd and 20. He's going to step up and fire this one out to Jason Weaver to get 13. On the outside, the catch is made. Yes! Long-term planning paying off. It's Aaron Slay, everybody. I have really wanted to see Slay take off as kind of that replacement for Sterling Shepard, but it just hasn't been able to happen. And we might be looking in this offseason for kind of the next receiver to take over that spot, because he's gotten so much time, but really hasn't demonstrated much when he's out there. I'll take a look at his snap counts before making a decision on having him return, but I think he's also a free agent. This is Towns now. He's breaking tackles. Gain of 7. Wait, that was like 2nd and 17 or whatever? Or 1st and 17? Why are we running it there? I don't care if it worked. There's Knight for 4. 3rd and 7. Come on, Luke. You got this. Cook steps up. Fires complete. It's Graham. I also, before he just starts to give up like 4 sacks now, I got to say, Sergio Angulo is handling Myles Garrett fairly well. He's back in there. 1st and 10, and Cook completes again. It's Graham from the slot. Towns off tackle. Nice block, Bolden. Towns inside the 5. With Christian Tolbert shaken up. I think he's a really important part of this offense. I think that things got a lot better when he moved to left tackle. I hope that's not a big injury. Tavares Towns, maybe a yard. Angulo just moved, I think, to the left side, so Barton's facing Garrett. I don't want that. And Towns breaks through. I can't believe it. Touchdown. Number 9 on the season. Uh-oh. 61 yards on the ground here for Nick Chubb. I was just trying to do some quick simulating, and there's the biggest play of the entire day. All right, we got 22 here to Rashawn Graham. Let's pick it up again with the offense. Angulo's at left tackle. Not a good sign. 1st and 10, Towns left side, big opening, busts through a tackler, and breaks another one. He's down the sideline. Tavares Towns, touchdown. Number 10 on the season. Now that was exciting. I think he's come a long way in his few years with the team, and this has to be a top 3, or maybe even his best play. Bouncing off defenders, outrunning others. That's what I'm talking about. Late in the first half, Denzel Ward just intercepted Luke Cook once again, and the Browns have it goal to go, and they get a Chris Gonzalez touchdown to retake the lead 20-14. That's 3 first half interceptions now for Cook. Giants tacked on a late field goal in the first half, but we'll jump to the third quarter now. We've gotten some more excitement in this game, and primarily from these two running backs. Tavares Towns, 109, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, of course, Nick Chubb's having a really good day. This might actually help Towns keep his superstar dev, though. This is actually a huge performance for him, and he'll add some receiving production to it. I'm not used to running backs being like 3 to 4 year projects. That's just not the way it is in real life. But this is quite refreshing to see it working out here for Towns. Why don't we check on the medical center here? Christian Tolbert suffered a foot sprain, so he can probably come back to this game. But I'm not sure I will have him do that. So we have Jake Matthews at left tackle, Sergio Angulo on the right side. Handling Garrett well. Caught again by Towns. What? He wasn't out of bounds? That's hardly possible. There was no room on the sideline. Wow, that ball hit out of bounds, though. I doubt if I challenge this, I will win. Oh yeah, it's a turnover. I can't. I just don't think that that's a legitimate recovery. The ball hit out of bounds. So Cleveland takes over, another turnover, and it's Chubb. He's at $144. Who finishes with more yards today? Nick Chubb or Tavares Towns? I'm talking strictly rushing yards now. Chubb off tackle. Springs is there. 3rd and 5 for Baker Mayfield, and he is going to be sacked once again. Travell Wharton, have a day. I just realized it's not Travell Wharton, it's Tershawn Wharton. I got him mixed up with a player who hasn't played since 2013 and played the other side of the ball. Travell Wharton was a tackle primarily with the Panthers in his career. Tershawn Wharton. This is Luke Cook on the run now. He got it away. Oh, man. Cook really is just Ryan Fitzpatrick. This dude is just going to sling it. He does not care. No way he was taking the sack on that play. This man is the most, like, carefree quarterback you could possibly have. Cook to the air on 1st and 10. Underneath again for Rashawn Graham, who seems to be doing well in that slot role. I don't know. Maybe that could be a big part of his future. He'd still get some playing time on the outside. Just probably wouldn't be as much of a downfield receiver. Ooh, that's not going to work. They did not bite on the fake. That play is very hit or miss. But 3rd down and 13. How about a deep ball to Jason Weaver? That's what I want to see. Top of your screen. Oh, no. What are we doing here? Why does this all of a sudden happen? This is like a relatively new bug. 3rd and 18. A tough play here for Cook. He's going to try to get it. Deep. Down inside the 10 and incomplete. They almost batted that to Rashawn Graham. I want to see Tershawn Wharton make a play so I can call him the right name this time. 1st and 10, and it's Chubb. He's going to stiff arm a defender out the way and get 5. And it was Tershawn Wharton for the record. Off tackle with Chubb. Yeah, Cunningham is not going to make that play. Chubb's in the zone. What has he been doing this whole time? You're telling me it can get even worse? Penalty marker down to save us. How do you get a running back out of the zone here? Like a tackle for loss or a forced fumble? Off tackle again. Chubb. That's going to be a tackle for loss. That might do it. Perfect. He's out of the zone now. And pressure on Mayfield. He's brought down by Frank Sermon. 3rd and 35. What are you going to do, Baker? What's the plan? He's sacked again. Tershawn Wharton, 3.5 sacks on the day. Fourth and 48. That's a pretty good one. That's what the Browns just faced. And we take over now at their 41. Down 3. Cook underneath. Drops it off to John Bolden. Got to get this one to Towns. First down and tripped up. Perhaps a touchdown saving tackle. Third quarter coming to a close here. Pass caught again by John Bolden. I'm having to think a lot about him. Like, there are role players on this team that I really like. And I don't know if I've drafted well enough to replace all of them if we don't keep guys like him around. Otis Springs is probably one of the toughest decisions. I think he outplays his ratings. He's a good player. Second down for Luke Cook. He slings it to the end zone, and that is a touchdown. It's Michael Thomas. And the Giants have taken the lead here in the 4th. The offensive line has actually stepped up pretty nicely. I'm shocked that Myles Garrett hasn't taken this game over, but Nick Chubb has given us problems all day. Again with Chubb running off tackle. Solid gain to the 46. 3rd and 1, and that is just enough despite a good attempt there by Golson. Right now, Chubb's at 197 rushing. And Baker's going to throw it. Double clutching, firing, open inside the 30. And that is Jarvis Landry. Baker's at like 52 passing yards right now. I remember I was simulating earlier and I saw Odell catch a pass. I'm like, he's still on this team? Chubb broke a tackle. Again, a penalty though. What on earth was that throw? Mayfield has had some head scratchers today. 7 minutes left to go. Heading to the air again, and Mayfield has an open man. That's a good play to take them to the 15. In the red zone now, do they go to Nick Chubb? They have motion and do get it to Chubb. Right side with it. Stopped at the 8. Now 202 yards on the ground. There was some movement there. No penalty marker. And down goes Mayfield again. How about this performance for Tershawn Wharton? I think he's got a contract for next season. It is now a 1-point game. Can Luke Cook protect it? He's going to take a massive hit here at the 25. Not how we want to start things. 4.5 minutes to go. And it's going to be Tavares Towns, and he's wrapped up on the play. That was a nice play by Cordova, the star defensive tackle. 3rd and 7. And it's a fake to Towns. Cook slings it. And caught at the sideline by Jason Weaver. No way. Did he really get both feet down on this? It's about as close as you can get. They timed this up well. They must practice a lot together. Oh yeah, that's totally a catch. Unfortunately, it looks like Cleveland's getting the ball back now. 3 and change left to go. Mayfield on 2nd down. Fires across the middle for an easy first down. On 1st and 10. Mayfield underneath, and this is Landry up to the 36. 84 yards now on the day for Baker Mayfield. But Cleveland closing in on potentially winning this game. You can definitely keep giving it to Chubb, and they will, and down he goes! It's Darnay Holmes! 3rd and 5 for Mayfield. He needs to make a play, and he's sacked instead! Daquan Byrd. And that is going to force 4th down. There was a timeout used. Wow, I don't know why. Let the clock run there in case you don't get it and need to get the ball back. Mayfield, deep downfield and incomplete. Darrell Gordon with good coverage. And the Giants take over on downs. A couple first downs and we can end this game. Out of the eye. Towns up the middle, and that's going to be a first down. They called the timeout, I think, before he even hit the ground. Oh. That was just a bug. Towns again on 1st and 16. So Cleveland can only stop the clock one more time. Towns to the right. Not much there. So if Cleveland gets the stop, they'll probably have the ball with 30 to 35 seconds left after a punt. And Baker Mayfield's going to have to pull off a miracle. But that's if we get to that point. Cook is hit by Garrett, and the pass is caught! Ball game! Michael Thomas wins it for New York. We hadn't talked about Garrett for a very long time. He got through on the most pivotal play. He did impact the throw, and Michael Thomas saves the day. That's pretty cool there. They had Denzel Ward covering him, the Ohio State connection. But the underthrow played to Thomas's advantage, and the Giants will win their 12th game of the year with Luke Cook earning an all-important quarterback win. 24-23. That was a lot of fun. Not fun to watch Nick Chubb run through our defense all day. That I am ready to see end. But Mayfield only had 84 passing yards. This passing game couldn't do a thing. Although running the ball was more than twice as effective. So I'll cut him some slack there. Rashawn Graham played well. Tavares Towns played well. He ended up with a $132. 2 touchdowns. You will take that. Definitely some struggles, though, for this Cleveland offensive line. They struggled to block Tershawn Wharton, who had 4.5 sacks. Daquan Byrd had 2. Frank Sermon, 1.5. What a showcase for the backup pass rushers. I say we give Tavares Towns a receiving back upgrade here, because if he's ever the starter, we'll be glad that we address this. Otherwise, we're going to probably need a second running back in that role. Catching at 71 is decent. The routes are not great. He'll never be a good route runner here, but as long as he's got catching in the 70s, I think that's passable. So we pretty much know what's going to happen here in the playoffs then. We're going to face the Green Bay Packers again in a playoff blizzard if I click on that. Although I think last time it just snowed anyway. So another matchup against Green Bay in the snow. Dallas the 1 seed. It's kind of like we turned back the clocks in this series a couple seasons. But I'm interested to see, you know, if Washington moves on, if Philly moves on, like, what if we have a divisional round, you know, Final Four in the NFC, and it's the 4 NFC East teams. Good year all around for the New York Giants, just a bumpy road in the beginning of the season. 27 touchdowns between Barkley and Tavares Towns. I want to see how Towns has improved here. His average is up significantly. He's breaking tackles at a much higher rate. But he also fumbled for the first time. I'm not worried about that. Rashawn Graham, most catches, most yards. Thomas, most touchdowns. Tony Johnson, I think question marks on a lot of guys looking to next year. Rashawn Graham is the only sure thing on the roster as far as the receivers and tight ends go. All right. We've had some time here to develop Aaron Slay. He has 7 career catches. And as far as downs played, we're looking at around 200. I'm just not sure if he has shown enough. I don't think so. Christian Tolbert had a very nice season. Angulo, I thought, really played well today against Myles Garrett. That's going to be something that sticks with me for a while, unless he has an awful playoff game or something. 13.5 here for Antonio Golson. Dexter Lawrence, 8.5. And Quandre Holt, 7. Azeez Ojulari, I think, took a little step back this year as a pass rusher. And here are his stats now. The last 2 years have been down, actually. And he hasn't missed a lot of time. Last year, he did lose a lot of snaps. I think there was Chandler Jones taking some of those. But in general, he still only had the one breakout pass rushing season. And here are the cap numbers going forward. Not as many interceptions from the secondary here, especially at corner. We missed James Bradbury getting those takeaways, and I'm curious of how he played this year with Chicago. Was it the wrong time to move on from him? Roquan had 6, Bradbury had 2, with 5 deflections. In comparison here, Adoree Jackson and Isaiah Cunningham each had 8 deflections, and Jackson had 1 interception. How about league leaders? Of course, you got Danny Dimes and Josh Rosen, number 1 and 2 in yards. We all expected that, though. We know Josh Rosen's a 40 touchdown guy now, number 46 quarterback. And the Texans are going to try replacing him this year. He's actually played pretty well for them, gotta say. I'm surprised that this production hasn't led to him going higher than a 77, but I don't remember where he started. Also, that's a +4 morale boost. Really, where was Josh Rosen when he started for them? Like 65? Another player who's developed well is Shenard Graham for the Miami Dolphins, who has replaced Tua Tagovailoa. Star Dev in his 3rd season now, getting to mid to high 70s or 80s. I'd say that's working out nicely here for the Miami Dolphins. On the ground, we have Najee Harris, 1653 to lead the league this season. Barkley would have been first place if he played Week 18, but just couldn't risk him getting hurt. 25 touchdowns here for Josh Jacobs. That's unreal. Is that a record? I forget what the record is. It's more than Jerry Rice ever had in a season, but he played receiver. All right, LaDainian Tomlinson had 28 rushing 1 year. And Sean Alexander and Priest Holmes had 27. So this is really high, but not all time. T. Higgins, 1715. Mike Spruce for the Texans. It's him and Josh Rosen. Not bad. A superstar receiver carrying low-rated quarterbacks. It's the Houston tradition. Marquise Payne. I know that every year he has shined with Kansas City. I mean, that's pretty good there to go for 5,000 yards in 4 years. Yeah, he better get paid nicely, but they don't have a deal yet. I wonder if he's going to hit free agency. If so, he's getting paid big. Given his overall, I think you could see something in the range that Rashawn Graham got, but I wonder if in free agency with the competition there, if he could get potentially more. That's a really intriguing one to remember for the offseason. Christian Kirk, Brian Denard. We're seeing more players drafted in this series top these leaderboards, and you love to have that play out. You kidding me? No sacks allowed for Wyatt Teller? We had like 7 in that last game, and he wasn't responsible for any, apparently. Defensively, Chris Barnes, 140 tackles, 2 picks, 1 tackle. 22 sacks for Chase Young, not quite tying the record. And then 6 picks for Roquan Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. One last stat I want to see here. I love this stat. It's one that often goes overlooked, but how many times do we punt compared to like other years? 51 punts this year, which was the most we've seen the last 3, which really highlights the struggles of the offense early in the season. Wow, this is going to be a long episode. I just realized how long I've been recording, but Daniel Jones is your MVP. I mean, there's a lot to go through here. Mike McCarthy, Coach of the Year after a massive season for the Dallas Cowboys. Danny Dimes, what a career he is having. Chase Young's Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think we'll see a lot of change from what we saw at the beginning of the episode. So we do have Antonio Golson being best linebacker. That's got to be worth something. And Xavier McKinney, best safety. Shenard Graham is Offensive Player of the Year in his 3rd year in the league, 2nd year starting. That's impressive. Joey Bosa, Quentin Bruton, and Cordell Wolf. James Robinson is the best running back. Marquise Payne, top receiver. Trey Smith, 92 overall. Nice job here by the Chiefs with the offensive linemen. Creed Humphrey's a 92, and Orlando Brown's a 90. They got 3 at least in the 90s. Gio Tull, Joey Bosa, Tre'Davious White, and Daniel Carlson. Well, everybody, we've made it back to the postseason. That is coming your way next time. And now for me to put this episode together and see if I can keep it under an hour. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the action. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did. And I'll be back again with more of the Giants very soon. Have a great day. I have one thing to add. While I was recording this episode, EA dropped a new title update for Madden 22 that does include some stuff for franchise, and they're saying there will be another update still for 22 that will cover some things in franchise, but looks like we're going to have 5th year options returning. They have been gone all season, all year in Madden 22, and that is coming back, and it doesn't say you have to restart your franchise. There are also going to be some new scenarios and some quarterback breakouts, it looks like here. I'll have to dive into the patch notes more, but that's pretty cool.